Why most investors never experience real compounding. Most people believe they understand compounding. They've heard the phrase, they've seen the charts, but in practice, most investors only use a fraction of its true power. They rely on a single growth mechanism, usually price appreciation, and ignore the fact that compounding is not one engine, but a system of engines. When these engines work together, wealth doesn't just grow, it accelerates. In this video, you'll learn how 4 distinct compounding forces, when layered correctly, can transform a modest portfolio into a life-changing one over time. Not through luck, not through speculation, but through structure, discipline, and patience. This is the framework long-term investors quietly use while others chase shortcuts. The 4 engines of compounding. Before diving deep, let's name them clearly. 1. Dividend reinvestment. 2. Time in the market. 3. Consistent contributions. 4. Dividend growth. Each one works on its own, but the real magic happens when they reinforce each other.
1. Dividend reinvestment, turning cash flow into momentum. Dividends are often misunderstood. Many investors see them as income, money to spend. But reinvested dividends are something far more powerful, self-replicating capital. When dividends are automatically reinvested, every payment buys additional shares. Those shares generate new dividends, which buy more shares, which generate even more dividends. This loop compounds, quietly, relentlessly. Why most investors miss this? The mistake isn't lack of knowledge, it's inaction. If dividend reinvestment, DRIP, isn't enabled, dividends arrive as cash. Cash sits idle. Compounding stops. No drama, no warning, just lost momentum.
Dividend reinvestment doesn't require market timing, forecasting, or constant monitoring. It requires a single decision, and then time does the rest. A long-term illustration. Imagine an investor allocating $50,000 into a diversified dividend ETF paying around 3.7% quarterly, and $50,000 into a monthly dividend stock yielding roughly 5.6%. All dividends are reinvested automatically. Over time, after 10 years, the portfolio grows to roughly $230,000. After 20 years, it surpasses $1.1 million. And after 30 years, it approaches $3.7 million. No additional capital, no trading, no predictions, just dividends feeding themselves. Dividends aren't just income, they're fuel. 2. Time in the market, where compounding actually happens. Most investors focus on when to invest. Wealthy investors focus on how long they stay invested. Compounding doesn't move linearly. It moves slowly at first, then violently. The early years feel disappointing. The later years feel almost unreal. This is why impatience destroys returns. The cost of timing. History shows that missing even a small number of the market's best days can erase years of gains. And those best days often occur during periods of fear when people are most likely to exit. Trying to time the market doesn't just reduce returns, it interrupts compounding entirely. A time-based example, consider a portfolio split like this: $70,000 into a broad U.S. market ETF, $30,000 into a single exceptional company with long-term dominance. At first, growth appears ordinary, but over decades, after 10 years, progress is visible but modest. After 20 years, the curve steepens. After 30 years, the results explode. What started as $100,000 grows into tens of millions of dollars, not because of activity, but because of endurance. Compounding rewards those who stay, not those who react. 3. Consistent contributions, compounding in motion. One of the biggest myths in investing is that you need a large lump sum to build serious wealth. You don't. What matters more than size is rhythm. Regular contributions create a constant inflow of new capital, each dollar entering the compounding machine with its own multi-decade lifespan. Why monthly investing works? By investing a fixed amount every month, your emotion is removed. Volatility becomes irrelevant, and discipline becomes automatic. You buy more shares when prices are low. You buy fewer when prices are high. Your average cost smooths out over time. This strategy doesn't try to be smart. It tries to be consistent, and consistency compounds. A realistic scenario. An investor starts with $100,000, split between a dividend growth ETF and a blue-chip company with a long dividend history. They then add $1,000 per month every month, regardless of market conditions. Results? 10 years, roughly $800,000. 20 years, close to $2 million. 30 years, over $4.4 million. No perfect timing, no leverage, no speculation. Just persistence.
4. Dividend growth, when income compounds without reinvestment. Dividend growth is where compounding becomes truly asymmetric. Instead of focusing on high yields, this strategy targets companies that increase their dividends year after year. As payouts rise, income grows automatically. Purchasing power keeps pace with inflation, and dependence on selling assets disappears. At a certain point, the portfolio begins to fund life itself. Dividend growth in practice. Imagine a portfolio split between an ETF holding companies with 25-plus consecutive years of dividend increases and a high-quality growth company with a long record of rising payouts. Over time,
10 years, portfolio exceeds $500,000, income multiplies. 20 years, surpasses $5 million, dividends become meaningful. 30 years, exceeds $50 million, producing hundreds of thousands annually. At this stage, wealth is no longer theoretical, it's functional. Dividend growth creates income momentum, income that grows even if you stop contributing.
the compounding stack, where everything connects. Individually, each strategy is powerful. Together, they create a system. Dividends reinvest into more shares. Time amplifies every decision. Contributions keep feeding the engine. Dividend growth increases income automatically. This is how $100,000 can realistically become $3 to $5 million or more over 30 years without extraordinary returns. Add tax-advantaged accounts like a Roth IRA, and the outcome becomes even more powerful: growth without taxation. That's not excitement, that's structure. The compounding stack, where everything connects. Individually, each strategy is powerful. Together, they create a system. Dividends reinvest into more shares. Time amplifies every decision. Contributions keep feeding the engine. Dividend growth increases income automatically. This is how $100,000 can realistically become $3 to $5 million or more over 30 years without extraordinary returns. Add tax-advantaged accounts like a Roth IRA, and the outcome becomes even more powerful: growth without taxation. That's not excitement, that's structure.